you. Apparently, yes. Good morning. I'm Sylvia Howe, a retired Unitarian Universalist minister and a member of this congregation. My pronouns are she, her. I serve on the pastoral team council, and while our pastoral minister, Kathleen Fowler, is away on vacation, I am covering for her. On behalf of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Columbus, I welcome you on this beautiful fall Sunday. Let us pause for a moment to acknowledge that this land, these hills, woods, and rivers are the ancestral land of the Adena, the Hopewell, the Wyandotte, Miami, Seneca, and Cayuga peoples. We acknowledge the injustice of the theft of this land and the continuing presence, despite attempts at the annihilation of the indigenous people of this place. And we pledge ourselves to justice and repair both with the land and its people. Let us take a moment of silence together to consider how we value and respect Indigenous people, their culture in this place we also call our home. So be it. Please rise as you are willing and able to sing our opening hymn, Morning Has Come. It's number 1000 in the teal hymnal. It also will be on the screen.
Good morning. I'm Jim Conlon, and I'm a member of the First UU Board of Trustees. My pronouns are he, him. Here at First UU, we strive to be welcoming to all, and we hope that you feel like this is a place that you belong. Thank you for joining us here today. Please scan the QR code on the screen to let us know that you are here, get the digital version of our order of service, submit your joy or sorrow, and to find our donation page. If you are visiting with us this morning, welcome. We have a first-time visitor gift for you at the greeters table if you haven't already picked up your copy of our welcome book. We now have a brief announcement from our auction team.
Good morning. I'm Kathy O'Neill. I speak for the entire auction team when I say we are all exhausted from yesterday, but we are so happy. We are so pleased to tell you, as of late last night, the Fall Festival and Auction has raised over $27,000. And we're not done yet. You still have time to join in the fund and raise a bit more. Starting on Tuesday, the online auction will reopen for you to buy, not bid, anything we have left. Maybe you need some more collapsible water bottles, or you missed some good stuff from the first week. Maybe there's one more spot left on an excursion or in a dinner. You can log on and buy it. But remember, this will be a buy it now basis. So first come, first serve. So don't wait. When you log on, you can also pull up your statement and pay it, or you can pay it in Beach Hall after the service. There's an option to add 3%, which covers the cost for using payment services and credit cards. And donors, you can make arrangements with your buyers to exchange goods or arrange dates for services. And one more thing. We are selling the 3 Back to the Future movie posters, as well as the original cutouts of Doc and Marty that we had out at the DeLorean yesterday. So you can log on and claim a souvenir, and you can take home some of the fun from the first annual First UU Fall Festival. Try to say that fast. Thank you to the staff, Fall Festival volunteers, auction team and volunteers, and our corporate sponsors and supporters for making this a success. We are so glad that we were able to get back together for our future. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. I know that they're probably at home sleeping, but if there are any of the auction team here right now and you're comfortable rising so that we can give you our appreciation for the amazing job that you did last night. I also want Andy to just stand. She put together the Fall Festival for us, so thank you, Andy. Thank you all. It was a wonderful time. I finally was able to get all of the paint off of my hands from painting pumpkins with all of our children, which was a blast. So thank you all for showing up and showing your support for this community. We would now like to invite any children who want to help bring in the light to meet Gus and Amber back in the back of the sanctuary and go out into the welcome hall to prepare. Our young people will return in just a few moments. Let us now center ourselves as we listen to this morning's prelude. It is now time for our children to bring in the light. Today's chalice lighting is May This Flame by Betts Weinecke. May this flame, symbol of transformation since time began, fire our curiosity, strengthen our wills, and sustain our courage as we seek what is good within and around us. Our chalice is lit. Now, Amber, before you start to read our children's story, and she doesn't know I'm doing this, so I'm sorry for embarrassing you. We received in the mail a certificate letting us know that Miss Amber Scott has reached a milestone in her education to become a credentialed DRE. This letter of recognition is in appreciation of the time that has been given in the service of quality religious development for our children, youth, and adults. Please join me in celebrating Amber's achievement. Amber, it is such a pleasure to get to work with you. And when I got this, I was overjoyed and I wanted to scream to the mountains because I'm so thrilled. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn, as well, for your help lighting our chalice this morning. As Kelly said, I'm Amber. I'm your Director of Religious Exploration, and I am so glad to be here with you today. For more information about our programs for children, youth, and families, or to volunteer, you can email me at amber@firstuucolumbus.org. Today's story is called Binny's Diwali, written by Thriti Umrigar and illustrated by Nidhi Chanani. Binny woke up happy, but nervous. It was her day to share about Diwali, the festival of lights. Since her class was learning about different celebrations, her teacher, Mr. Boomer, had asked her to talk about her favorite holiday. Last month, Sarah talked about Rosh Hashanah, and today it was Binny's turn. She hoped everything would go just as she and her teacher had planned. Binny started getting ready for school. She smiled as she noticed the Indian outfit Mom and Dad had laid on her chair. Maybe it was the perfect day to wear her new blue suede shoes for good luck. Binny turned around and got a glimpse of her mom looking so beautiful in the bright red silk sari Dad had bought her for Diwali. Everybody went shopping for Diwali. Kids got new clothes and toys, parents bought each other jewelry, and friends exchanged gift baskets filled with cakes and sweets and nuts. Wearing her new clothes, Binny ran downstairs for breakfast. Instead of cereal, Mom and Dad had a treat for her: warm jalebis, orange discs of sweetness that melted in her mouth when she bit into them, and soft milky pedas that crumbled in her mouth and made her lick her lips. Dad quickly packed up the rest for her class. "May the words you speak today be as sweet as jalebis and as soft as pedas," he said. Mom drove Binny to school. "Remember to tell them about the oil lamps," she told Binny as she kissed her goodbye. "Good luck, Ben. You'll do great." After morning circle time, Mr. Boomer called Binny's name. But when she stood before the class, a terrible thing began to happen. Suddenly, she felt so shy and scared that her mind went blank. Some children began to giggle. Others fidgeted, not knowing what to do. "Today is Diwali," Binny said nervously. "Diva who?" yelled Tommy. The teacher stood up and gave the sign for quiet. Binny did want to share her favorite holiday with her friends, but she couldn't find the words. Mr. Boomer put a kindly hand on her shoulder. "Take a deep breath," he whispered. "I know you can do this." Just then, Binny remembered what Mom had told her about the lamps. To celebrate Diwali, people lit little oil lamps called diyas and put them by their front doors to guide good luck into their homes and chase away the darkness. All over the world, Diwali marked the victory of goodness and light. Binny now knew what to say. Diwali is the festival of lights. It's a Hindu holiday that lasts 5 days, and it celebrates the victory of goodness and hope. She told them about the fireworks, how they whistled through the air and burst like stars in the night sky, leaving streaks of gold and red and green. She described the sparklers Dad lit in the yard, how she made figure eights with them, and the golden sparks opening like a flower. Mr. Boomer brought over the streamers that Binny had made. She took out some colorful glitter and asked Juliet and Aisha to help her make them brighter. The class gathered around Mr. Boomer's desk as Binny handed him a tiny electric clay diya. The teacher turned it on, and the small flickering light looked so pretty that all the children oohed and awed. Ooh, ah. Binny told them that if on Diwali you look down from an airplane, you'd see the city shining like a diamond, lights shimmering everywhere you look. She made them close their eyes and imagine a dark sky with a million twinkling stars. Diwali is a magical time for children everywhere. Binny had one more thing to show them, the best thing of all. She took out bags of colored powder, red, blue, yellow, purple, green, and orange, and sprinkled them onto the floor. First, she drew a flower with the powdered chalk, and then she used it to write, "Happy Diwali to all." The children started clapping. Binny went to her desk, and out came the box of pedas and jalebis, one for each student in the class, and for Mr. Boomer, too. They ate every last crumb of the sweets and smacked their lips in delight. Romeo raised his hand. "How many festivals are there in the world?" he asked. Binny smiled. "Thousands of them," she said, "and they are all beautiful in their own way." Mr. Boomer leaned over to Binny and said, "Great job," and she grinned from ear to ear. Binny walked home that day, celebrating her own victory of goodness and light. The spirit of Diwali was real. The story of the oil lamps had chased away her own fears. Everyone loved Diwali, this wonderful festival of lights. The end. Diwali, or Deepavali, is India's biggest and most important holiday, and it gets its name from the rows of clay lamps people light outside their homes. It originated as a new moon festival to commemorate the last harvest of the year before winter. The light from the diyas illuminates the dark skies and directs Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, into homes to bring prosperity to the new financial year. Diwali is celebrated by Hindus, Muslims, Christians, and Zoroastrians alike in India, and by Indians all over the world. It signifies the victory of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, good over evil, and hope over despair. And in our story, young Binny finds the courage to share that light with everyone. I now invite the congregation to stand as you are willing and able and form a sheltering arc of love as we sing our young people back to their families and out to class.
Our centering words this morning are an excerpt from our Sacred Fire by Elizabeth Harding. People have always known that fire was special. Long, long ago, before people made matches or candles or even made houses, people knew that fire was special. There was a great fire in the sky. It was the sun, which made the earth warm and made night into day. And there were smaller fires that people made, fires that cooked their food and kept them warm and brought them light. People honored the fires because fire was special. Fire was more than human. Some people thought that fire was something sacred and holy. Some even worshiped fire and said that fire was a deity, like a goddess or a god. Other people said fire wasn't actually the deity, but just meant that the deity was here. No matter what they believed, people all over the world gave fire a special place in their religion. They had fires in their homes, of course, and they also lit sacred fires in their temples. They set sacred lamps on their altars. They lit sacred bonfires outside on the hilltops and in the groves. They placed sacred torches near the graves of those who had died. As we still do to this day, in churches at Christmas time, many Christians light our 4 candles on the Advent wreath. During the 8 days of Hanukkah, Jews light the 8 candles of the menorah. At Diwali, Hindus set small lamps all around the house. And where Unitarian Universalists gather, we light our chalice. This is our sacred fire.
Thousands of years ago, in the kingdom of Ayodhya, located in the northern part of India, there was a kind and humble prince named Prince Rama. Prince Rama was adored and respected by many and considered to be an embodiment of Dharma, or right living. Prince Rama is believed to be an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Prince Rama, as the eldest son, was set to become king, but his evil and jealous stepmother banished him to the forest for 14 years in exile so that her own son could become king instead. Prince Rama did not go alone, as his wife, Princess Sita, who is considered an incarnation of goddess Lakshmi, an embodiment of nature, and his loyal younger brother Lakshman accompanied him. One day, a powerful king named King Ravana of Lanka saw Princess Sita and fell in love with her immediately. King Ravana hatched a plan to distract Prince Rama and Prince Lakshman so that he could kidnap Princess Sita and make her his wife. When Princess Sita went missing, Prince Rama went searching for King Ravana and sought the help of the great warrior Hanuman, who agreed to help find her. Prince Rama, Prince Lakshman, and Hanuman had to fight the powerful King Ravana to get Princess Sita back. After a fierce battle, they all survived and were reunited. After completing their 14-year exile, Prince Rama, Princess Sita, and Prince Lakshman returned home to Ayodhya, where the people rejoiced and lit lamps all over the kingdom to welcome them back and usher in the just and kind rule of Prince Rama. The entire city looked like a row of lights. This is the Hindu epic, the Ramayana, one of the many legends and popular stories told during the celebration of Diwali. But Diwali is not celebrated by Hindus alone. Sikhs, Buddhists, and Jains all celebrate this festival of lights with their own traditions, stories, and celebrations. For some, this 5-day festival marks the beginning of a new year, with each of the 5 days symbolic in their own ways and honored with different traditions. During the celebrations, people celebrate the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. And as we heard in our Time for All Ages, Diwali is perhaps best known for its lighting of lamps and candles, making the city shine like a diamond, lights shimmering everywhere you look. Tomorrow marks the 3rd day of Diwali for this year, a day celebrated specifically with light. Light from traditional diyas, which are clay and mud lamps, light from candles, and the light of fireworks. Light is powerful, it is significant and symbolic. In our tradition, our flaming chalice reminds us that we are doing sacred work. We light it at the beginning of worship services, at the beginning of meetings and events. This practice allows us the time to pause, to breathe deeply, and to feel connected with one another. For me, the flaming chalice pulls me back to the here and now, reminds me of what is important and why we are here. I like to tell our new members that they may find themselves in the middle of a heated debate in an important meeting, whether it be a board meeting or a finance meeting or any of the other thousands of meetings we seem to have going on at any one time. In those moments when I am feeling the most stressed or overwhelmed, I turn my attention to the chalice and pause, turning inward for just a brief moment to remind myself that this work is sacred and holy. But most importantly, it reminds me to shine a light on the places within myself that I may be struggling with. I ask myself why I'm feeling the need to pause in that moment. I investigate the feelings that are rising up within me and question where those feelings may be coming from. Now, I don't always like what rises up within me. I don't like the parts of me that are petty, closed-minded, and harsh. But I've learned that shining a light on those feelings in the moment allows me the space and time to better understand them, to better understand myself. This time of Diwali reminds us to do this work, to continue working on our spiritual practice of courage, opening ourselves up and examining those parts of ourselves that honestly we would rather not. Those places that rush to judgment, that would rather avoid conflict than seek understanding. Those places that hide the truth because it might be ugly and painful. One of my favorite resources to turn to when I'm looking to do this work is Spirituality and Practice, which is a website that provides resources and ideas on how to go about practicing those areas within ourselves that we wish to grow and learn from. On this website, they remind us that Diwali is a time to turn inward and light the lamps of knowledge and truth in our hearts and minds so that we can dispel the forces of darkness and ignorance within us and allow our innate brilliance and goodness to shine forth. Diwali is a time to reflect on and evaluate our thoughts, words, and actions over the past year. A time to acknowledge and better understand our prejudices, negative behaviors, and bad habits, so that we may begin the process of transforming ourselves. This is a time to discover how we can be more loving, kind, respectful, and skillful towards ourselves and others. This is a time to remind ourselves that ignorance comes from a lack of knowledge, yes, but willful ignorance comes from a desire to stop learning, to stop searching for truth, to stop believing that there could be more than what we believe. It takes a lot of courage to examine ourselves, to shine a light on ourselves in this way. We may not like what we see. We may see places that we have shut off from the world, parts of our light and our innate goodness that we've hidden because of those who chose to tear us down rather than build us up. We may find that we have unknowingly allowed our own insecurities and fear to be a part of this tearing down rather than building each other up. In Unitarian Universalism, we believe that every person has inherent worth and dignity. Every person includes ourselves. We have worth and dignity. You have worth and dignity. Don't let fear or insecurity stand in the way of showering this world with your light. Now, while I've never been good at consistently keeping a journal, I have found a particularly helpful spiritual practice that helps me start this process. You may choose to journal, draw, paint, dance, sing, meditate, whatever it is that is powerful and meaningful for you. The first step is to make a list of the personal qualities that dull your inner light, such as greed, anger, and laziness. And then you commit yourself to getting rid of one of those qualities starting in the here and now. So for example, for me, I've been working on a few different qualities, but one of the ones I'm focusing on right now is stubbornness. There are important and good times to be stubborn, yes, but the stubbornness I'm talking about is probably making my family laugh from the other side of those cameras right now because they know what I'm talking about. Ever since I was little, I was good at digging in my heels, stubbornly trying to get my point across at the expense of allowing anyone else to have a different idea or opinion. There are times when I perceive that what I'm saying is so right that anyone who says something slightly different feels like a personal attack, and I find myself getting defensive. This stubbornness helps me in getting things done. It helps me fight for what's right and stand up for myself, but sometimes it has shut down conversations. It has closed off, hidden the part of me that loves to listen, that loves to learn, that loves to grow as a person. What might some of these personal qualities dulling your own inner light be? And what can you do to commit to ridding yourself of those qualities? The second step on this spiritual journey is to list the qualities that nurture your inner light, such as compassion, kindness, and generosity. This one might be a little harder to come up with. We tend to be pretty good at thinking of those things that we want to change about ourselves. But I'm asking you to look for those qualities that allow your light to shine, allow you to go out in the world as your true, authentic, kind, loving self. For me, I'm grateful for my empathy. Again, like all things, there are downsides to being an empathetic person. It means that I often make excuses for bad behavior for far too long, allowing harm to continue. But my empathy allows me to do what I've been called to do. It allows me to sit across the table from someone and really listen to them, put myself in their shoes in the process of seeking understanding. What are those qualities for you? What qualities might you have that you know allow your own inner light to shine? And how can you commit yourself to further cultivating these qualities? As we discussed last week, the spiritual practice of courage takes practice. It takes courage to practice courage. But the good thing is, just as the lights from Diwali celebrations from all over the world connect members of a community together, the light that shines from within each of us connects us and unites us on this journey. We just have to commit to doing the work that allows those lights to shine through. We cannot allow our fears, our insecurities, and our ignorance to continue blocking those lights. Now is the time to do this work. Now is the time to strengthen our courage, reflect on and evaluate our thoughts, words, and actions, and strengthen our resolve to be a space where we allow all of our lights to shine. I hope that through this time we will do this difficult work. This is an important and a vital place. Right now, we need each other. We need open ears, open hearts, and a desire to share our best selves with one another. I pray that we come together so that our collective lights show our community for what it is at its core. Whatever that may look like, I look forward to being on this journey with all of you. This morning, we wish you a Diwali that brings happiness, prosperity, and joy to you and all of your family. Amen. Blessed be, and may it ever be so. October's Share the Plate is Native American Indian Center of Central Ohio. NACO is devoted to preserving and restoring balance in the lives of Native Americans through traditional, cultural, educational, family, community, and wellness-driven values and initiatives. Please use the QR code, go to our website, firstucolumbus.org, or text and click the Donate tab to share as you feel called and are able. Our offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you, Nathan. Our caring meditation this morning is Chalice Flame Contemplation by our colleague Sam Trumbore. I invite you, as you are comfortable, to close your eyes, get comfortable in your seats, and take a deep, cleansing breath. In this time, as our nights get longer and our days shorter, let us seek the light within by contemplating through our mind's eye the image of a candle flame. Notice how the soft, quiet, and gentle flame tamely rises from the wick. Let that little candle flame be your friend this morning. Allow it to quiet your mind as you attentively watch its flickering glow. Allow it to calm your mind in a way that brings a stillness that can light up the interior of your being, that can help you find the well springs of your feeling. Allow it to show us our inner sense of knowing that can help us notice the ways we've strayed or harmed others. To warm us, reflecting on the ways we've been touched and the ways we've opened our hearts, and inspire us through making new connections and discovering new insights. May this simple flame touch the dry twigs that guard our hearts, allowing the power of light to penetrate our self-protection and show us the amazing potential for heat and light that resides within each of us. Amen, and blessed be. This morning, let us acknowledge the differing feelings, thoughts, and opinions that each of us experienced as we read the letter from the board telling us of Reverend Marion's leaving. May we be gentle and honest with each other as we each journey through this difficult time. We lift up our prayers for the people in Ukraine and over the world who are victims of war and violence. Peace be with us and with all the beings that share this earth. I invite our pastoral listener, Bob Fiorini, to share this week's caring cards and joys that were submitted this morning. We have a lot of sorrows, but we also have a lot of joys this week. My request last week worked. We sent healing thoughts to Fred and Susan V. Fred had to have will have a second neck surgery, and Susan broke a long bone in her foot. Healing thoughts to the family of Helene R. and Denise D. A member of their family has a very serious medical condition. Chase, Sam K., and Jeannie S.'s grandson died in a head-on car accident on October 9th. He was only 20 years old. The family is grieving and misses him dearly. Martha W., Alex H.'s mother, had foot surgery this week. She will be unable to walk for at least the next 6 weeks. Our loving support to Dana Furda. Sorry. Her mother had surgery on October 12th, only to learn that her ovarian cancer is inoperable. But Dana is thankful to have a bit more time with her. The doctors say maybe a year. May our hearts send healing love to Deb S. It's been 1 year since her beloved son, Jesse, left this world. And this week we have lots of joys. I saw Carol W. yesterday. She sends her love and wishes she were able to come last night. Congratulations to Robin W., Susan and Chaz's daughter. She is listed in a new book of American women artists. Yes, it's quite an honor. It's on Amazon, I've already checked, and it's a good coffee table book. Many, 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 many thanks to the auction team for their dedication to this community and for a year of thoughtful, careful, and loving planning. It was wonderful last night. Those of you who weren't able to be here, I can't tell you what fun it was. Happy birthday to Marguerite M. There she is, who will celebrate her 96th birthday on Tuesday. Marguerite is still driving, and she's an active member of Archives and the choir. Happy belated birthday to Kurt G., who celebrated his 93rd birthday on Tuesday, October 18th. And congratulations to the Reverend Kathleen Fowler. On this day in 2009, she was ordained by our congregation. She will be back from her vacation next week. And there's been at least one caring card that came in this morning.
Nothing from the candle table, but just one card that came in, and this is Nathan G., who has earned his psychology license and is now a licensed clinical psychologist in the state of Ohio, and he has accepted a position with a private practice in downtown Columbus.
We encourage you to visit the caring table in Beach Hall after the service to sign the cards. Whether or not you know the people, this long-time tradition of signing cards in person is an important outreach to members and friends, and there are lots of them to sign this morning. But even if there are no cards, visit the caring table just to say hi to the people who staff it. In a moment of silence, let us hold all these joys and sorrows and all those yet unspoken gently in our hearts. As Kelly rings our temple bell, I invite you into a moment of shared silence to reflect, imagine, pray, or simply breathe. Please rise as you are willing and able to sing our closing hymn, number 345, With Joy We Claim the Growing Light. It's in our gray hymnal.
If you are online, I invite you to bring your chalice closer to extinguish our flame together. If you are here in person after the postlude, you are welcome to go to Beach Hall for conversation. I don't think that there's coffee because we don't have volunteers, so if you want to volunteer to make sure that there's coffee on Sundays, let me know. But wonderful conversation will be happening in Beach Hall after the service. I invite you to join me in speaking our vision statement as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of vision. As we go forth, let's heal and transform ourselves and our world through reason and love. Our flame is extinguished, but the light lives on in our hearts and lives.
Reach second to notice you didn't have it. Good job, Nathan. Nice. Great. That was awesome. Yeah, great job.